Welcome back to Endangered Species Spotlight. This week we are talking about the Irrawaddy dolphin. The Irrawaddy dolphin is a type of relatively small dolphin found around the coastal and brackish areas of Southeast Asia. They're typically found around the coast and in lagoons, but are also found in rivers such as the Mekong and the Ganges, as well as in the Chilika Lake, which is where the majority of their population is concentrated. They're quite a shy and non-confrontational and overall not at all threatening dolphin species, and interestingly they do tend to have kind of a mutualistic relationship with fishermen, where these guys have learned to drive fish towards fishing nets, at which point they will be awarded with a good portion of the fish caught by said fishermen. However, these dolphins are classified as being critically endangered, with a population of around 7,000 or so. The main threats facing the Irrawaddy dolphin are things like accidental bycatch, with them getting trapped in fishing nets and then unfortunately drowning because they cannot come up for air, as well as things like collisions with boats and all of that. There's also risks from commercial fishing and other large vessels, because since they're so shy, if there is a lot of activity up on the surface of the water, they will intentionally stay quite a bit lower, and that's not great for them because sometimes they will stay too deep for too long and have a lot of difficulties coming back up to the surface. The population is also affected by dams and kind of logging and pollution, with dams blocking the rivers that they live in and decreasing their access to the sea, because sometimes they do go out into the more open sea and aren't just contained in lakes and rivers. Overfishing is also an issue. When the fish populations that they rely on are overfished dramatically, there is no food left for the Irrawaddy dolphins to feed on. As for conservation efforts going on to protect the Irrawaddy dolphin, it's actually somewhat difficult to fully protect these guys, since the majority of their population is very, very close to a lot of residential and commercial areas, where many people in the population rely on fishing and boating and being in and around the water, which makes them very close to these dolphin populations. You can't exactly entirely ban fishing and boats throughout the entirety of these guys' range, because that will very badly affect the livelihood of many, many people. However, there are still some conservation efforts, including the fact that it is illegal to intentionally kill or harm any of these dolphins in most countries that they're found in. There are also some places in their range where it is illegal to fish with large nets to avoid the accidental bycatch. There's also more localized efforts focused on cleaning up and removing trash and nets and other pollution from the areas that these dolphins are found in. Since the dolphin population is spread across many, many countries in Southeast Asia, there's not really one entire unified conservation plan, but most countries that these guys are found in have at least some sort of protection or plan in place to protect these dolphins. Now, while overall the population of the Irrawaddy dolphins are still decreasing, in some places the conservation has been somewhat successful, with the population at the very least stable. So hopefully in the future there will be a little bit more organized protection put in place, and hopefully these dolphins can make a good recovery.